It is a good week, another good week, and the whole universe of Bold and the Beautiful. We're talking about it next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
And we got nothing to begin.
My love, we climb any mountain. Decided to play a little song this week, a little different than our usual anthem, because everybody's guilty of something on this show. They're all just guilty. Guilty. That's Barbara Streisand and Barry Gibb, of course. Hi, welcome to the Bold and Beautiful After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV and AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm your host, James Lott Jr. We're on a little earlier today, so I'm glad some of you guys are in here already joining me, because we're going to have a good show today talking about what happened this week in Los Angeles on Forrester Creations. Also have a good lot in Los Angeles to show you and have some great clips. You guys are loving my clips from the past, and we got some great stuff coming up, so we're excited. But first, go ahead and go to our iTunes and Facebook and YouTube. Look for Bold and the Beautiful After Show. That's where our shows are. Because we got nothing to be guilty. Well, they all got something to be guilty of on this show. It's kind of crazy talk. But yeah, go there, find us, like us, share with everybody in the whole entire world that loves Bold and the Beautiful. Our page on Facebook is The Bold Breakdown. Use the hashtag The Bold Breakdown at my handle on Twitter, at James Lott Jr. That's right, and Jr. is spelled out for you podcast listeners. Hello, Nikisha, Rodell. Hello, Lauren. I'm glad you guys are in here. I'm so excited. We're going to have a good time today. And actually, I have a special guest for me in the booth who's never usually with me on this show. It's Miss Alexis Torres.
Hey, everybody.
Well, she will be producing and engineering the show with me today because we're on a little earlier.
And talk about these dang Forresters.
She watches the show. She watches the show, you guys, so she knows.
Love how for all the soap block hour that I do here at AFTERBUZZ, Bold and the Beautiful is the one I don't engineer, but I love it the most.
I know. We have to work that out somehow. I don't know. You'll figure it out. So hope you guys out there grabbed a drink like I did, and we're ready to get started. My first thing I want to talk about is that tomorrow I'm releasing a new Bold and the Beautiful mini spotlight. If you don't know what they are, go to my YouTube page, James Lott Jr. You can see the previous ones, and so I'm releasing a new one tomorrow, and it'll be a little fun there, so you guys can enjoy that. You can go to the Facebook page, Bold Breakdown, for more details tomorrow when it comes out. Now, at first, my lot in Los Angeles, it's a fun one. This place has been around since 1939. I used to go there as a kid. It's called Clifton's Cafeteria, and it's here in downtown LA. We're going to show you some pictures of the place on the inside. It's one of these places that I can, now you see the picture, it's crazy talk. You have to go there. Like, it's hard to describe the atmosphere. Alexa, have you ever been to Clifton's Cafeteria?
No, but I think I know someone who has, and they told me it literally just looks like you're in the woods.
Yes, it's like this, and it's very unique inside. Yeah. And we show a couple pictures of it inside, and it's basically cafeteria style food setting. And they serve all kinds. They serve like beef and turkey and chicken and all kinds of stuff and all the fixings. And you pick things up, and you have trays and stuff. The food's really good, but the inside interior is so bizarre that I love it. And they just had a big remodel and reopened last year. And they're on 648 South Broadway in downtown Los Angeles. That's Broadway between 6th and 7th. Great place. It's huge.
Look
good food.
Pretty.
I know, some good food and stuff.
I want some flan so bad.
I do. It's right there. That flan's good.
Yeah.
And it's right there, and everything's fresh and it's good. And they're really friendly there. And I believe it's family owned. I'm not sure. They got a facelift. And so if you're in LA, and downtown LA is a spot right now. So
that's awesome.
I know, 1932. Sorry, 1932 is when it opened. And it's just, I used to go as a kid back in the 70s, and then I started going again recently. It's just, we have one picture of some food that's really good, I think, than my last picture. I did it on purpose.
I think it was just those four that I got.
I If not, I'll post it on our Facebook page. There's a picture of the food that actually looks really, really good too on there. So you can go to cliftonsla.com for more details. If you come to LA, I say it's a place you should check out. And downtown LA is the hot spot right now. It's like the hot spot. Thank you, so. Okay, kids. So, I was saying hi, Alexis. Oh, how funny. Okay, so we're going to start with Monday's episode. And it picks up where we kind of leave off on Friday. But now Brooke shows up. It's like, where's Brooke? Jesus, like, where is she? That's her. That's the mother of several of his children. And they have grandchildren together and stuff. I was like, glad she finally showed up. But I do have kind of a mini rant. Just a little mini rant. Just a mini one. Just a mini one.
All right.
She says she talked to Bridget, who is their daughter, and tells her, now I don't know how you feel like this. Someone told me my father is unconscious in the hospital.
Yeah.
Don't come. Just come when he wakes up.
Yeah.
you should come to the hospital while he's unconscious.
Yeah,
Like,
because you're supposed to talk to them.
Yes.
Anybody who's in a coma can still hear you. They're
Yes.
just not responsive.
right, but when do you want to see your father? And when do you want to rush to his side? If you guys are close, when do you want to rush to his side and see him?
Yep.
So that's kind of weird because she mentioned both kids, and Rick was there, of course, their son. But I'm like, get Ashley Jones, the actress, on for give her 2 days, pay her for 2 days, and bring her on the show, and just let her have her scene with Eric. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah, that's my little mini rant. It's kind of like they mentioned her, so I'll give you points for that, but she should have been there.
I agree.
So, but I loved the flashbacks of Brooke and Eric. I was like, oh my God, she's so young looking. I love it.
It was so weird to see. I was like, what's happening? Because I forgot about that. And I
Yes.
was like, wait, what?
Well, you know, John McCook and Captain Kelly Lang, who play both of them, are 2 of the 4 original members of the cast. So they've stayed on this whole time. So for the whole 30 years, next year will be 30 years. 30 years, I know, it's like, it came in 87. The year I graduated high school is when it started. It's kind of funny. Wait a minute, I'm having a 30-year high school reunion next year. Oh, that's crazy.
What?
Oh my God, how'd that happen, you guys?
Think about that. Think about Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, I'm like, oh, I got both of you. Let me have to take a drink really quick. This is great. For all you podcast listeners, I'm taking a drink.
But no, I thought it was very interesting while you take a drink, just how they were able to find all that stuff.
I know. I'm just thinking, for us, because we produce stuff here, and to go back and all those hundreds of hours of clips.
I can just imagine, because that's what I do at my job. That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
I see all the Bold and the Beautiful, is that we get stuff on tape for like Y&R and Bold and the Beautiful and stuff like that. So I can just imagine there's like a vault of just old Bold and the Beautiful
Yeah, I'm
tapes. And
sure.
the poor person had to like run through
Oh,
and
my
find
God.
all of that and have to like digitize it and trim it and put it to the
Oh, I'm
editors.
sure. Oh, my God. I didn't think about that part.
Yep.
But I'm just thinking also just they had to find moments that made sense. And they did. They
Yeah.
found them when they married, when they had the kids. I mean, it was like they had to have these,
So crazy.
it was really crazy.
I can't imagine him with dark black hair like he did in the video. He's always been my white-haired prince.
I know. He was young once. So what happened? It was kind of crazy. In the chat room, we're on early because they're actually doing I think the vice presidential debate later on
yes.
during my time slot. So I have agreed to come a little earlier today, give you guys a little break. So that's why we're on early. I'm glad you guys are joining us. See more people. Gerardo Diaz. I did clutch my pearls because I'm like, oh my God, 30. I'm like, I'm not that old. How'd that happen? My high school reunion. It's kind of funny. Yes, you would rush to your father's side. Exactly. I would rush to my father's side. If I was close to him, I would come home to make sure he was okay. But I did like Brooke and Eric's scene together. Well, I should say Brooke was talking, but Eric was, unconscious. But it was such a great use of history. And seeing Brooke and Quinn kind of interact was kind of interesting because, and Quinn brought up a good point too. Weren't you not well liked when you first married Eric? Shady. She brought up some past.
Yep.
Because Brooke was the slut from the valley. That was her big thing that Stephanie called her, a slut from the valley.
I mean, it's true, though.
And she can't keep her legs closed in here. She likes some sex. Homegirl Brooke's always doing it. So yeah, so they really, really, really kind of show these 2 women who both love Eric on some level, and Brooke is part of the past and was where Quinn was, but still Quinn's like, I'm the wife. So they want to find each other is kind of fine. Quinn and then Wyatt kind of came in and was trying to help. And actually, Wyatt's been there for his mother this week. I was very proud of him this week. He was kind of like, okay, she does love him. You got to put yourself together. Steffi and Liam are talking, of course, in the other room. Steffi and Liam.
Lord have mercy.
I know.
Can't
And
with these 2.
Liam wants Steffi so bad.
But
and
like Steffi doesn't know what she wants.
She
She's
doesn't.
like, I'm married to Wyatt, but Liam's here for me and doesn't have a crazy mom named Quinn.
I know Steffi's totally like playing that line like, well, I kind of love you, but I kind of like Liam too. And Liam, I kind of love you, but I'm still married to your brother. And Bold and Beautiful loves triangles. They love triangles. Like they just do. Gerardo, I am sorry that Ridge's abuse of Quinn is torture. I'm over it. Ridge is going way over the top. He is going a little way over the top. I understand not liking and protecting your father, but he is going way over the top of this Quinn thing. I agree with you on that one. And then Carter comes in and because he's trying to get to Ridge. He's trying to reach Ridge, and first he talks to Pam, and but he finally wants to tell him what he saw in the power of attorney. Because remember on Friday he looked in the envelope, opened it up, and was like, oh my God, on his face. And I had a feeling that it was going to be what we find out what it is. But Ridge is assuming he has power of attorney because he brought it up. And he wrote his name in there. All he needed his father was to sign it. But I don't know why he thought his father signed it. I was kind of like, why do you think he signed it? He agreed because you guys were fighting over him.
Yep.
Why do you think he was going to say, sure, you'll be power of attorney? I don't.
Yeah, obviously he was was gonna pick Quinn.
Yeah, exactly. That was a little. I don't know why he got a little high and mighty on that one. I was just kind of, yeah, I'm not sure. So the marriage license isn't signed. So that's the big thing. So this whole week was all about that.
Who does that?
Remember she said it's kind of weird. Like why did he run off to confront the family
Right away.
right away?
Like you were already starting to kind of get like cozy and enjoying your honeymoon, I guess.
Yes.
Like after your wedding night, and then he was like, I'm gonna go tell him how I feel, and I was like, why? Just get all of your paperwork in order, and then you can go scold the family.
Yes. That's so weird.
Curse you, bold of the beautiful.
I know. And then Carter's running around looking all suspicious and concerned. He's just like this big black man's just looking concerned all the time. Oh my god. Like, okay, first of all, you're the lawyer.
I feel like he's just like running around. He looks like a lost puppy.
He does. I was like a good-looking lost puppy, but
well,
just
I mean,
like.
yes. But like I'm like, come on, buddy. You know what you're supposed to do.
You're the lawyer. You know what you're supposed to do. I'm like, oh my god. So that's kind of funny. And then at the very end, Ridge, of course, is at the house with men packing her boxes to get her out.
Oh, that was so weird. He's like, we're probably, I love all like the extras who were the movie.
I know.
Who were like, we're here to pack up the house. And I'm like, if someone asks you what you're doing, you should be like, oh, are we not supposed to be here?
Yeah,
Not like, we're here to
right.
pack up the
That's
house.
like they were just like, okay. She's like, what?
And then stupid, I always forget his name because I usually call him a very terrible name when I'm watching the show. I'm like, you're an a-hole.
Ridge?
Yes, I hate him so much.
Yes.
I hate him so much. He's like, oh, we're moving your stuff out, Quinn, because you don't belong here. And I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What? You get out. You
Exactly.
Get out right now.
And that portrait of Quinston still sitting up there at that point. It was like, it was still sitting up there on Monday. I'm like, yeah, I was still sitting there staring down at them.
Yep.
Isn't that funny? Brooke was the Kim Kardashian of the 80s. I like that.
True that.
Brooke and Eric flashbacks were amazing. Nikisha, I totally agree. Carter should tell everyone that Quinn. Well, we're gonna get to the rest of this week because he's starting to get down to that. It's kind of crazy. Amber's baby, you're in here. Oh my God, my regular folks, you guys are here. I'm so glad you guys followed me. And Ethel, hi Ethel, I love you guys. Amber, you said you hate that he picked Quinn for power of attorney. Dumb. And he wrote it as Quinn Fuller.
No, but
Did you catch that?
Yeah, I did see that.
So even if they're not married, Quinn Fuller has it. I was like, that's a really smart thing he did.
Which is kind of scary too, because
Yes.
it's like, oh, I could just take care of it if, let's say, that he dies, which would suck if he did.
Yeah.
But I highly doubt they're gonna let him go. But
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it was. I know some people who also love the show a lot who sat there and they're like, why would he make Quinn power of
Yeah.
attorney? I'm like, well, because he's in love. That's why.
He's in love. He's in love. That's what you do when you're in love. You do things that may not be the smartest.
Yep.
But that's kind of what happens. Love is blind. Love is dumb sometimes. I kind of agree.
And it doesn't have to be smart sometimes.
Yeah, it doesn't be smart sometimes.
Sometimes.
So Ridge is basically. So Tuesday picks up. Still, he's still running. He's totally smart ass to her. Ridge is so smart ass to Quinn.
I hate him so much.
Totally. And Stephanie and Liam are talking. Carter shows up. Then basically now the rest of the family starts to show up to Eric. And I thought it was good because about time they started to come in and have their moments. So they had the black folks come in first.
Yeah, what was up with that? I was like, what?
it's like all the black folks come together. Like,
they all have to come in one group, and then everybody else can come after. I was like, what's going on?
I was like, this is kind of crazy. Like, I mean, I know they're two sisters there, but it was kind of weird. It was like, I mean, it was like, okay, Rick could have came separately with Maya.
Yeah,
And it was like, no, but all the black folks
like,
together.
Literally, like, hey, if you guys can all come on set to film today, that would be awesome. Like, all of us, like, literally all of you.
They did. So Zenny, Nicole, Rick, and Maya show up. Everybody's feeling guilty. That's why I played the song "Guilty." Everybody's feeling guilty for what they did, because
As they should.
because you weren't here with me, of course, last week, Alexis. But last week we had the best show because we were like, John McCook should submit his Emmy tape.
Yeah,
from that Wednesday episode where he told everybody about themselves.
Like, he literally just sat there and told them exactly how he felt and what
Each
they
person.
needed to hear.
Each person.
Yeah, he didn't leave anybody out.
No, he didn't.
Oh,
He didn't.
It was amazing.
He did not also. I'm glad everybody feels guilty because he's always been there for them. And so Zenny had his chance to talk to Eric. He talks football, of course, that's their thing together. But one thing I'm really proud of, this is a good rant. It's not even a rant, but it's a good thing I like to bring up. But they brought up his storyline from a long time ago. Zenny came on back in the day. His parents and his brother, they died of AIDS. They were in Africa. And that's how Kristen Forrester and her husband Tony Dominguez were there visiting, and they met Zendy and his family, and that's why he took Zendy in. So I thought it was kind of interesting. They brought up that he's about his family, he brought up his brother and his parents, and how death really affects you and how people get sick and they don't get better. And he was really having a hard time with this because he wanted his grandfather to get better. But I thought it was great that they brought that up. Wonderful writing. And also the writing and the flashbacks of young Jacob Young. That was so good. That 90s hair was like, oh my God. And because when he says, because he's Eric Forrester Jr. He is Eric Forrester Jr. And I think it was just completely, John McCook was on fire, things like that. But his flashbacks, what it feels like to be Eric Forrester Jr., I thought was a great. Jacob Young, as you know, I've been saying this on the show for the last like 3 or 4 weeks. He's a good actor. He knows how to act. He literally saved All My Children's last few seasons as J.R. Chandler. I think finally they gave him some meaty material. I'm like, finally they gave him some meaty material because he can actually deliver. So that reminded me of some old stuff that he did on his other shows. And then the doctors basically said that Eric could recover, just making sure as they do these scans, they don't find any more new blood clots, because that could be detrimental, of course. Then you have Ridge and Steffi feeling really good about themselves, because they're thinking, okay, she's not married to him. That's good news for us.
I just don't understand how they're like super confident.
They were.
Because I'm like, you know what's going to happen if Eric wakes up, right, guys? Like, he's going to be like, where's my wife?
Right.
Unless, I mean, obviously, I thought, like, if he does wake up, that would suck if he's like, who are you? And then I'll be like, no, Bottle the Beautiful, no. But like, if he does remember, he's going to be like, yeah, where's my wife? Waiting for, we're supposed to go home together. Like it's supposed to be, he's going to remember. And then obviously, if you've already messed that up, he's going to be more upset. You're just going to make your dad more heartbroken. He's going to get another brain hemorrhage, and you're just going to kill him. Stop it.
Exactly.
Stop it.
No, exactly. He's going to ask for his wife. Like, hello, he's going to ask for his wife. And it's just ridiculous. They're so self-centered in their thought.
Annoying.
It is annoying. And Cheyenne, I will give you points this time because you brought up some black stuff last time I didn't really see. This time it was kind of a little weird, so I will publicly say it to you that I will give that to you right now, girl. So that's funny. And so they're feeling good. So Carter comes in, and at first they're talking about the wedding not being invalid because they didn't get married. He's like, well, they could argue Eric's intent because he did have a priest and there's witnesses. And Ivy was there, so she was a family member.
I'm so glad that they had one family member there. I
at
was
least
so upset.
At least, and then he shows them the power of attorney. I thought Ridge is definitely going to have twins. They're going to give birth right there because they're just like, oh my God, what? And he's like, I want to see this.
I thought he was going to have a brain hemorrhage. I was like, that's it. He runs in the family. Done.
I thought he was too. I thought he was too. Oh my God.
Face that he made. I was like, oh my God.
I know he did.
He's dead.
He was like, he wanted to say, and excuse my language, everybody, he wanted to say, are you shitting me? That's what he wanted to say.
I know that they don't do that on soap,
No,
but
they don't.
I really wanted him to
I wanted to. I wanted to say, just, are you shitting me?
I wanted just a nice, good bleep. And then cut to black. The Bold and the Beautiful.
Well, the Beautiful was brought to you by soap. I don't know whatever. So yeah, exactly. I mean, just completely. So it's kind of crazy. And that was Monday, and then Quinn returns to Eric to see him, and that's what Monday and Tuesday were about. And so the week would start off really, really good. So of course, Taylor Jones, why so early? Presidential debates on later, so we're on early today. I'm glad you followed and joined in because for you East Coasters, it's like regular time for you guys. It's like 6:30 for you guys. It's kind of great. So I'm glad you're in here. Okay, so now. You guys like my flashbacks. You like when I bring up people's pasts. So, okay. This one's the Bold Other soap role, and this one is early. It's Rena Sofer, who plays Quinn, of course. This is one of her first roles in the 90s on a show called Loving, and she played Rocky McKenzie. And here's a little, this is even pre-General Hospital.
Is that you?
Hi, Dave. It's
Look how young she
funny
looks.
the places we bump into each other.
Yeah, but you spoiled my opening here. I was gonna say Miss Mackenzie, I presume.
Would you mind telling me who the hell you are and what you're doing here? Can't you read the signs outside? Private property, no trespassing.
Dave, what are you
Like
doing
her eyebrows.
I'm looking for you
a little
two.
thick. Who's
How
that
about
black man? Who's
Guy's
he?
on the first try.
You don't even know me.
Hey, who's he? I don't know who he is.
Why are you looking for me?
I'll tell you why. I'm a private investigator. And I got a client named Curtis Aldman.
He has that
You're his partner.
90s hair.
And he's
I
pretty
know.
upset that you took off without
Never
saying
see that
goodbye.
anymore.
So you hired me to reel you in.
Rocky, is this guy on the level?
Yeah, her eyebrows are
Dave,
thick.
Hinman
They're
is
thick.
in my
They're
class.
thick.
His father is Lieutenant Hinman.
You're a
I
cop?
know, she was
Relax,
young.
all right? I work alone.
I can't.
But from what I hear, there's about a half a
That's
dozen
Quinn.
Corn's
yeah,
finest
like, I
out
cannot
looking for
see
you.
Quinn.
Yes.
Like, it's all I
Well, by the time your dad and his men get here, Rocky and I
She's a
will be
cutie.
long
I
gone.
know.
I've got to hand it to you, Jones. I've seen cool, but
You're all looks the same,
you're
I
unbelievable
swear.
here.
She looks good
If
these
this were
days.
my
She's
so
sister,
good.
no matter how much of a dingbat she
So
was, I
wouldn't
wouldn't desert her at a time like this.
I want to show that. Dingbat. They use language. So I don't know who that black guy is or the other guy is, but she played.
Cute.
Yeah, he's cute. She played Rocky McKenzie on Loving. Then later went on to General Hospital and got success as Lois. But want to show that because she's been around for a long time, kids. A long time. Love Rena Sulphur, love old school Loving. Yes, there were like 26 soaps at one time on the air. There were 13 at one time on the air. We're down to 4. We're so down to 4. It's crazy. It's so weird. So anyway, so I'm going to continue to show you more things. We have 2 more clips later on today, so it's going to be very exciting for you. The episode. So now let's go on to Wednesday. So now we know at home, and so does Carter, Ridge, and Steffi, that Quinn has power of attorney. And Carter does mention, because he's going to bite them in the behind, that there's probably another copy in his safe somewhere, in the safe deposit box. Because they always do 2 copies, so there's one here, one there. So I have a feeling that's going to be played up sometime in the future or something. But Steffi and Ridge are pissed, of course. Carter just looks. Then Ridge and Steffi beg Carter to be unethical.
As usual.
As usual. Be unethical. And that's it. Don't tell anything. Don't say anything. Do it for the family. Do it for Eric. Do it for this.
You ain't doing nothing for Eric
Yes,
right now.
exactly.
You're just being jerks.
Exactly. And it's just like, okay. I was hoping, at this point, I was like, Carter, don't fall for it. Don't be on. You're a strong black man with values. Don't do it. Don't do it. But on Wednesday's episode, he decides to stay silent at the moment. Not good. Quinn and Wyatt talk. She feels him in that she's not really married to him in terms of the marriage license, but she feels married to him. Then back at the hospital, Thomas shows up. Thomas and Pam. My buddy Pearson Faudet, friend of the show, was on that day, and he had his turn with Eric, and it was a really nice. He did a nice performance, of course, and of course, Ailey Mills, who plays Pam, did a great job. She was covering up with the little thing from the house, and was talking to him, and it was like seeing the 2 older people kind of talk, and she's Stephanie's sister, and so that was kind of a nice moment. And then we get back to the Forrester Creations, and beautiful Sasha's back. So we saw Thomas and Sasha having a little fun during the dress fitting, and she's so pretty, the actress, and talking about getting ice cream, and then suddenly, the wheels are in motion, yes. So suddenly, Caroline and Douglas walk in. Little baby Douglas. They walk through the door, they returned. He calls him Dougie Boy, I guess, or whatever. And the little tension between Sasha and Caroline was totally there. Like, They both know what to do with each other. It's kind of like, okay, well. And Sasha kept touching Thomas's shoulder.
I was like, what's happening?
There you go, girl. She's trying to mark her territory, Alexis. She's trying to mark her.
What is happening?
Yes. Okay. Oh, sorry. Just want someone to go back for a second. Candace Mack says, I'm so mad at Carter. Does he not know he could lose his job? Yes, he could totally get almost said impeached. But
I was like, isn't this really bad for you?
Yes.
Lying and stuff like that? Because there's actual document. Whatever.
Yeah. Taylor Jones says, Alexis is actually the voice of God.
I am. Thank you for recognizing Taylor. You are the best. I'm watching you.
Ethel, you despise Caroline, Boo, Sasha, and Thomas. Okay, we had this talk before a couple weeks ago. I like Tasha. I was going to call him Tasha. That could be their name. Tasha. Thomas and Sasha, actually, I like their chemistry. It was kind of weird at first, but I feel like Sasha actually is now softening and becoming a real person when she's with Thomas. Because here's my thing. I said this online, you guys, this week. I think it's weird that Caroline and Ridge's relationship just died all of a sudden. That was it. There was like no really drawn out process. Because I liked Ridge and Caroline together. The older guy kind of taking, her name was Caroline, like her namesake. I kind of liked it. It's like suddenly we're not together anymore. He's going to try to get with Brooke, and now you're going to try to get with Thomas. So I was like, well, it shouldn't be that easy. I mean, it should be rougher than that. But Caroline's back, and she wants her some Thomas. She basically made that known. And Sasha leaves him alone she was pleasant. Sasha didn't do any tricks or anything. She kind of left, and did her thing. Yes, Carter could be disbarred. That's the word I was looking for, disbarred. And then Quinn and Eric she's with him, but then all of a sudden, Ridge, Stephanie, and Carter get in, and they drag her out. I felt so bad.
To her. Like, that was ridiculous. Like, I understand that maybe she shouldn't be there for whatever they want to do, but they don't have to physically drag her out.
I know.
That's rude.
I thought it was I felt really bad for her. It's like they literally, the orders are dragging her out.
This is ridiculous. But at the same time, the scenario is terrible. The Forresters should feel terrible for what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Grandfather and father.
Okay, so Candace. Oh, Michelle D. Hi. You missed half the show already. We're at 3:30. What happened?
Get it together,
But I'm glad
girl.
you're here, girl. Glad you made it in. I'm glad you made it in. Candace Mack, so you want to see the triangle Sasha, Thomas, Caroline, but not Steffi, Lee, and Wyatt Ivy? Oh, how funny. Well, they're probably going in that direction for both. I think we're going to get a triangle and a quadrangle. I think what you just named is what's going to happen. Because that's Bold and Beautiful loves doing that. They love doing those kind of things. Sebastian K. Oh, not Sebastian K. Hi. You don't watch Bold and Beautiful, but you're here waiting for the other shows. So Lex, we have somebody in here who's waiting for the other shows to happen. He's watching our show right now.
So kick him out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's all good.
Well, glad you're here, Sebastian. I mean, you know who I am, so yeah, let's hang out. Ridge dating someone with his dead love's name. Weird. Never liked it. I thought it was ironical, which I'm making. That's not a real word, but I'm just making that up. I like that. Now, I have another little clip to show, and it's the other Bold soap roll, but it's not really a soap. This is something that I found on John McCook's YouTube from 1965, you guys. And it's called, he did a movie called My Blood Runs Cold. And you'll notice one of the guys talking is Nicholas Coster of Santa Barbara fame. But John McCook is the guy you'll see running in with the girl from a car, and he says a line. For your older viewers, you know who those names are, of course.
I miss these types of credits where there's
Me too, I love it. Oh, I love the music. And see the bottom, John McCook. So yes, but he'll be running in a second, all young and thin.
I don't know if my heart can take it.
And you'll see his hair.
Mike's a gunner.
That's the thing. So here he comes. There he is.
Oh, hello, beautiful.
Look at that Carter Mustang. There he is.
Oh, wow, he looks
Sure
so
glad I'm
good.
not your insurance
Look at that
agent.
Are you
vest,
hurt?
A sweater vest, exactly. I wore it today.
These gentlemen were worried about.
My name's Ben Gunther.
I'm Harry Lindsay. This is Ann Davis and Owen Fowler.
Hi, how are you?
I know. He has that voice still. He's tall, and that's Troy Donahue. So it's like, so they're showing. So I want to show this. It was kind of fun. It's like from the '60s. I just love this, the close-ups and how they do this, and the music.
Look at that face.
I know, look at all those
Well,
people.
shall we go?
Should we go?
There he is. So I just wanted to show you guys that. It's kind of fun. It's a movie from 1965, so a little something to show you guys. Like I said, I'm finding things online for you guys. You guys have been telling me what you want to see, so I'm trying to find things online that are very interesting to show you, because these people have been around for a long time doing a lot of work. Yes, but Nicholas Coster, of course, I loved him as Lionel Lockridge on Santa Barbara. He's done a bunch of other things too, and he's still acting. They're out there still acting. So there are people who have careers that go on for decades, and that's what I want. Mm-hmm.
Man, you're timeless. You're gonna be here forever.
I hope so. As long as they can wheel me in, I can still talk.
I'll do that. I'll
You
just come
wheel
in,
me in.
Just wheelbarrow you in and be like, James Lott Jr. is here for his close-up for the 1000th
Episode of Bold Breakdown.
Of Bold Breakdown. Okay. You got it, buddy.
We'll still be talking about Steffi and everybody.
Oh my God! As long as there's another slap, I'm okay with it.
the slap. I love it. He was in Mr. Rogers' closet. John McCook was hot back then. Yeah, he was hot back then. I know, I love it. I am Team Quinn this week. Rich is the biggest hypocrite out of all of them. Yeah, they all. Well, remember, Eric told everybody the week before, you all had done things that he had to forgive. And when he read everybody that way. So it's like no one can really talk. Yes, Quinn did some bad things. I totally get that and stuff. But people can change through love, I think. And people can actually have people really influence how they act. So, I mean, I'd be scared, folks, because she may start doing some other stuff if you guys don't let her in there.
Especially since she's technically power of attorney. She does some terrible stuff.
Yes, she can. So that's crazy. So we get to Thursday, and the three brothers are at the house. Get to see Thorne again. I love seeing Thorne. I'm glad Windsor Harmon is back on. So Thorne, Rich, and Rick are there looking at the portrait of Quinn and stuff. And then Quinn shows up. And Quinn and Rich just get into a fight. And then he takes down the portrait and he throws it on the couch or a table or whatever. And he's just going off on her. And she's going off on him. And same stuff. They go back and forth, basically, back and forth, back and forth. She's like, I'm married to him. No, you're not married to him. I'm leaving the house. No, you're not leaving. She brings up, you're breaking his heart all over again by kicking me out of the house.
Yeah, duh.
But Rich is like, I'm the son. I'm here to take care. I'm going to do what I want. Ethel says, I love Torsten K, but I want to punch him in the throat.
time to punch all the Forresters in the throat. I agree with you. I don't know what it is about this. I mean, the other thing I don't like, I mean, I love Quinn and all, but I am hating that she's like, he's my husband. He's
Yes,
my
I know,
husband.
I
I
know.
married him. He's my husband. Let me see my husband. I'm like, Quinn.
Yeah, okay, we
Quinn,
get the
it.
point.
You can use the word Eric here and there.
Yeah, exactly,
sometimes.
exactly.
You use the word husband way too much.
God, I know. It's like, girl, like, come on. And then Quinn storms into to Forrester Creations and it talks to Steffi, and Steffi's like, it's over, and she kicks her out of the company too. So it's like, okay, you're done here, bitch. That's what she was basically saying. Then Wyatt comes in, but then Wyatt defends Steffi, and it's like, you need to respect Rich and Steffi's, decision. I was like, wait a minute, like, where that? I'm like, oh, now you're defending them. Then I'm thinking, okay, you're trying to be there for Steffi so she'll move home with you, because you know how I feel about that whole story. I feel like she's squeezing the life out of all that, and he's just a big puppy dog. But he does go off the next week. We'll talk about that in a second. But he does go off on her a little later. Okay, I agree, James. But forcing on the family this quickly is wrong and unfair, in my opinion. Well, I think people get married right away sometimes. I don't know. I mean, he's older. And he said this a few weeks ago. When you're older, you don't have the luxury of time. And I have to say this. My mother got remarried later in life too, and to a man who's much older than her, and they haven't been dating a long time either. And it's kind of, I mean, at first I was a little taken back by that, of course, but it's like the time does change. And as I get older, I see time does change. When you date and stuff, it's a different story than when you're in your 20s and 30s. And I don't know if anybody out there who's a little older like I am understands what I mean by that. I think it's just kind of, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of interesting. I don't know. I get why Eric fell in love with Quinn so fast and why they got together. I totally get it.
You can't hate on that. It's
No.
not like they're. I mean, it's terrible to say, but like my grandmother always says, like to people who are single in her age, where she's 75 and she looks like she's 40. And
Go on, girl.
But like she always tells people, she's like, this is at this point, all you're looking for is that death's door. So you're going to try to find someone that you can learn to be happy with until you hit that door, and then you guys can knock on it together. And I love that thing. And of course it makes me sad because I'm like, I don't want my grandma to leave me. But at the same time, I understand that that's why her and grandpa, even though they might see their differences now that they're a little older because they got married really young, but like they know that they have each other until they hit that point.
Yeah, exactly. And folks are all like, go ahead, Alexis, tell them writers. Go ahead, Alexis. Go, Alexis.
Again, I don't mind the writers. There's some times where like Eric's speech was awesome.
Brilliant,
and I loved the recapping of their stories, the memories together when they're talking to Eric and when he's in a coma. But like Quinn's lines, anytime she brings up Eric, is getting so ridiculous. Again, I don't know if James has told the fans yet, but like I have to do the captions at my job for Bold and the Beautiful, so I have to write every single time she says the word husband. So one of these days I'm gonna tally it up, and it's gonna be so ridiculous.
I don't think
It's literally like the lines that are like, I go to sleep and I hear Quinn going, "That's my husband. Don't keep me away from my husband. This is my husband. Don't do this." And I'm like,
I love it. So I love
so
it.
terrible.
Ethel says she's a baby boomer and she agrees with what I'm saying. She totally understands. She gets it. Hell, if Sophia Petrillo can get love, anybody can. A little Golden Girls reference. I love it. Golden Girls. They're like, why should defend Quinn because he got her all these girls? I mean, Quinn does kind of work her magic. She's kind of got him, Steffi, Ivy. They're all because of that. Why is new love interest? Not another Forrester, please. Why have y'all talked about sad Ivy yet? Not yet. We're getting there. We're getting to Ivy. When she talks to Liam and he turns her down or whatever. We're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. But back to Caroline, Thomas, and little, I almost said Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how. No, just kidding.
I mean, the show might get a little bit more interesting.
They start doing Dougie. Let's start doing Dougie. Yes. If you guys don't know that was a song a few years ago from Los Angeles. And a dance. Oh, wow. I don't know if anybody, some people don't know that or not. I don't know. Okay, so Caroline basically has said to him she now had time away. She's with her moms. Yes, I did say moms, her true moms, in New York. And now it's their chance to be a family. And Thomas, the way he was looking was so funny. He's just like, where'd this come? Like, he wanted Caroline all that time, but now he likes Sasha. And now all of a sudden Caroline's like, okay, I'm here. I'm ready. Let's just do it. Let's be a family. Let's do it. And he's like, oh, okay. She's like, and when she said, let me get my voice together. I don't want to run from our connection. I was like, ooh, go girl.
I was like, ooh, chills.
I was like, oh, okay, girl.
All right.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
And she's like, we should try. She literally said we should try. And Thomas was like, I can't believe this. So I was like, started laughing. She's like, I'm ready. And he hugs her. and they're hugging, and I'm like, ooh, what's going to happen? Because Sasha's still in the picture. So I don't know what that's, I mean, he's been defending her, and they've had a playful relationship, and I don't know. I mean, that's kind of crazy. Meanwhile, Wyatt's like, Steffi, it's time to come home. It's time to come home. And Steffi's like, you backed me up. And like, she's all surprised. Of course, he's in love with you. Like, it's like,
I know. What did you think was gonna happen?
Right. It's like, he backed me up. I'm all like, it's just, oh my God. And he's like, of course. And he said, I have proven to you I've been, on your side. So she says, okay. But you can tell, like you said earlier, Alexis, her okay was kind of like,
okay. She didn't even care.
Right.
She was just kind of like, all right.
Okay, I'll come home. I gotta come home.
I can do that. I'm like, you guys are married.
Yes.
Figure it out.
Yes. And then on Friday, Liam's like, oh, you're going back to Wyatt. Okay.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm like, Quinn, you need to make a choice now.
Yes.
You either divorce Wyatt and get with Liam.
I know.
Or you got to just push Liam back over to the friend zone and go back to Wyatt.
Exactly.
Like, it's too much right now.
Well, he said, you should be with me. He laid it out. You should be with me.
No, Liam has said, like, straight up, he's like, I love you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
figure it out. Either be with me or not. And I'm like, yeah, correct.
And that's just like, so there you go. And then Quinn and Wyatt are back at that little tiny apartment.
I was like, because I haven't seen anything like a little bit prior to this.
Yeah.
So I was like, where are they? Where are they? in this
That's where she
tiny
lived
little
before.
house? Oh,
But I was
my
wondering, here's my question. I thought she moved out, so didn't they rent the apartment to somebody else?
That's why I was confused, because I haven't seen this in a while. So I
Yeah.
was like, I thought she was in a different swankier place.
Yeah.
But I guess not. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys understand at home? Because like all of a sudden she's back in the same little refrigerator and same table and chair. And I was just like, oh, like, did they just? Well, I guess she just moved out, so I guess maybe they didn't rent it out yet. I guess I don't know. It's kind of weird. This is kind of yes. On Bold and Beautiful, they family swap all the time. It's completely what the Forresters have done since 1987. They think it's creepy in here too. It is creepy. They've been doing it for. They're all
Years.
interrelated for years. They're your grandfather's my cousin and your brother's my uncle. I mean, it's all just
It's so crazy to me.
Yes, it's all bizarre. And then it's okay. Here we go. Now we're to you folks were asking Liam and Ivy. And Ivy with her accent that comes in and out now because she's trying to be American.
Yeah, I was very confused.
Yes.
I was like, is her accent coming out or am I?
Yeah, it was weird. It was like she's being English and then she's being Australian and she's being. It was kind of weird. But looking at wedding dresses for she's doing some jewelry. I love that she mentioned one of Brooke's dresses was in there, of course. But they find Steffi's dress when she married. And they showed a flashback. It was kind of fun.
Oh, I know, right?
Yes, when Steffi had short hair and they had a flashback. And her in the dress, and he's thinking about it, and so Ivy's like, "Give us another shot." It's like, "What are you doing after this woman who's with your brother and who's just turned you down?" It's like,
not Steffi. Ivy was speaking some truth right there. I was like, "Come on,
yes,
come on."
I was like, "Come on," and so they're going back and forth, and Liam's like, "Sorry, I am waiting for Steffi. I want Steffi."
He said it very, very passionately.
He did.
Was
he did.
I'm in love with Steffi.
Yes, exactly.
I want to be with Steffi, and I was like, "All right,
Okay.
we
He's like,
get it."
okay. He's like, okay. So he's doing that. Oh, it's funny. Quinn went Married at First Sight on her apartment. I love that show. It's on FYI. I totally watch the show. It's kind of great. I watch Married at First Sight and 90 Day Fiancé. Those are my two shows I watch. It's all trash TV. I love it. Meanwhile, while that's going on, we had Carter. So Stephanie moves back in with Rich. Rich helps her in. She's at the house. Carter shows up, and that's when the conversation happens. He's having second thoughts, surprise, and wants to tell. It's like she needs to know. We'll fight it in court. He goes, I can do some research, whatever, we can work it out. They're like, no. Wyatt comes home and overhears everything. I was like, ooh, that's a good wrench in there.
Like, I wish you guys would have seen me at work when I was captioning. I was just like, yeah.
Oh my God, he knows. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, ooh, that's kind of funny. Meanwhile, back at Forrester Creations, Liam is off the phone, looks at a silhouette, and there's a wedding dress on and some short hair, and he's like, is that you, Steffi? We know it's Ivy. So it's like crazy. I don't have you guys in here saying that she deserves Team Ivy's accent. That she deserves better material. Me too. I think this actress, Ashley Brewer, is a great actress. And I just think, she needs a little more. James, what do you think about Wyatt and Nicole if the writers went there? I'm all for it. Mix it up. I'm all for it. Her and Zendy are kind of boring right now. So
So maybe if like Steffi decided to be like, I can't do this anymore, and then like Wyatt's like, all right, fine, and then all of a sudden, hey Nicole, what's up?
Yeah, exactly. I think why not? Sure. But I remember when Ivy had respect. I know there's a whole thing going on with her, and I'm really curious to see what they do. She just came back, you guys, a few weeks ago, so I'm curious to see where it goes with her. But I agree, I like the actress, and I hope they give her a little better material, so it may happen. Meanwhile, when Wyatt comes in and he's all silent at first, and she's like, "What's going on?" And then he turns around and he goes off. He goes off.
That was a crazy scene. I was like, ooh.
And he finally let a lot of stuff out. It's like the way Richard has been mistreating my mom. It's been to abuse. She has to know you're lying. And then Stephanie starts pulling but we're back together, and now she's out, and
Nope.
and he was like, wait a minute. He goes, I have proved it time and time again that I want you, and it's like. And she's like, it'll make our marriage better. Please. She's like begging him, touching his face. And he was just like, he finally grew some balls, you guys. It was like, they were small balls, because at the end of Friday, we're not sure what he's going to do. But his balls were starting to drop. I was like, okay, there's some ball sack in there. It's like they're in there. I was like, oh my God. It was just so, I was like so happy he went off on her, because he's like, you're lying. She needs to know. It doesn't matter what's going on. She needs to know. So I hope he doesn't fall for Steffi's theatrics and tricks, because I hope he just says, no, bitch, I'm going to tell my mother. Like, come on. So you guys are all in here talking about the whole Steffi and Liam, because when Hope was around, he was all into Hope. So yes, but she's not around. She's not there. So now it's all Steffi. He did love her. They had stuff going on. I've been pimping on Wyatt and Nicole, Steffi and Carter. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, Carter needs a love interest. He needs to be on the show more. I agree with that. Or Ivy and Carter, or Carter and Sasha. Oh, you guys are just throwing some stuff around there. Okay, they're all beautiful. So like I can see it. Like, they all have chemistry. Good work. That's crazy. So Friday basically we're ending with, we don't know what Carter's going to do. I'm glad to see Lawrence St. Victor on the show, because he's coming on our show this next Sunday at our regular time at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Carter Patera will be sitting right there, right onto to my left. He will be here on the show, and we're gonna have a good time. I got his drink of choice ready, and he's gonna ready to talk about Bold and Beautiful and his career. He's a writer also, and he's been other things, and so I got him on the show, you guys. I'm very excited. That's next Sunday. Before that, I'm gonna show you the Bold flashback, and this one is oddly beautiful. It's John McCook and Bobby Eakes used to play Macy on Bold and Beautiful. They released songs and stuff, and this is one of their songs called Heaven's Just a Step Away. Let's show that clip.
Because of you, you're such a hard.
That's so weird.
I know. So his hair's turning. Look at there.
Love found a way to bring you into my world. You were a dream.
I loved Macy. Oh, I wish she's dead on the show, but I loved her. And Bobby Eakes is great. It's one of those songs back in the day.
I'd never be alone again in my life. I know that heaven's just a step away each time.
Their voices work well together.
I can't believe what you do to me.
So you can find that song online, of course, and that's Heaven's Just a Step Away, John McCook and Bobby Eakes. They have a bunch of music, actually, and a bunch of music videos from the back in the day. That was back in the day. And they actually have great voices. And Bobby Eakes has also been a great singer. She was on All My Children and a few other things. She's really good. So I'll repeat the time. So Lawrence St. Victor, who plays Carter, will be on this show, Bold Breakdown, for all you podcast listeners too. Next Sunday, October 16th at 8 p.m. is when we start. So he will be here in studio, you guys. So yes. Yes, Ron Moss also was in a group called Player. He's the original Thorn. And they had a #1 hit called Baby Come Back. And I remember that song as a kid. I remember
Come Back.
Like, but I want a fool could see. Yeah, exactly. I remember that song when I was a kid. I remember that song. But Macy, I know, she was just like, she was the bomb. I wish she could bring her back to life. There's songs that can do that, of course, right? Well, folks, that was your recap of Bold and Beautiful for the week. Another great week in there. I mean, they just did a phenomenal job. I'm excited for this week, see what happens. I want to thank Alexis for joining me and being my co-host along with you guys.
Oh, thanks.
It was great. It was great. I wish you could do this every week with me.
Man, maybe when my show at 8 o'clock is not there, then yeah. For
Okay,
sure.
okay. Because it's good, because you know the shows. This is
Yeah,
really
I'll
great.
just come in and be like, what up?
And the folks like you, so it's like you're the voice of God.
Oh, thanks.
So, folks, okay, follow us on Facebook under the Bold Breakdown. Share with all your groups. A lot of people on the different Bold and Beautiful groups are sharing us, so thank you so much for doing that. The Bold and Beautiful Mini Spotlight's coming out tomorrow. Lawrence and Victor next week. Go to iTunes, go to YouTube, AfterBuzz TV, and look for Bold and the Beautiful After Show. That's where you'll find us on that. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in as always. Michelle, Ethel, Taylor, Gerardo. Oh my God, this is it, you guys. We're playing out to Ron Moss on his group player. I love it so much. Yes, OG Ridge, yes. OG Ridge. Baby, come back. Oh, I love it. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.